Hey, it's Jay here from jvapes.com, and today I'm going to review the Vivi Nova and the Mini Vivi Nova from Vision. Now, the Vivi Nova was actually the first piece of vaping gear that I ever got. After getting kinda interested in e-cigarettes, I started to do some research online and got completely overwhelmed at the number of options that were out there. So after a while I just said, you know what, I'll just get the Vivi Nova because I kept seeing it getting recommended over and over and over again. So it seemed like a good place to start. Now, the Vivi Nova costs around 10 bucks and it comes in a little box like this one. And basically what we need to do with this is put in some juice and it will vaporize it for us. So first we'll just take it out of the box and then we'll take out the main part of the Vivi Nova, which is that one right there. And then to fill it up, we just need to unscrew this bit at the top, just like that. And then we just need to take the juice and we then just tilt this to the side and fill it up like so. It's actually really easy and it's a really beginner friendly piece of equipment, so I do recommend it for people new to vaping. So once we've done that, we then just want to put the top back on. Then finally we just need to attach this bit to a compatible battery like the Ego C twist that I have here. So we just put them together like so. And then pretty good. Now, because this was the first bit of vaping equipment that I ever got, I really didn't know what to expect before trying it out. I was wondering, is this thing actually going to work or is it just a lame gimmick? Will it actually satisfy my cravings for a proper cigarette? I have to tell you though, when I took that first drag, I was damn impressed. This is the real deal and does satisfy that craving for a proper nicotine hit. Sure, it takes a little bit of time to get used to the different size of the cigarette and the different motion of it, and the fact that with this battery you have to manually press it every time you want to have a drag, but you'll find that these things become habit and pretty normal pretty quickly, just as say having to ash your regular cigarette every 2 minutes seems normal when you're smoking a traditional cigarette. Once I got used to this thing, I found that I preferred it to a regular cigarette in many ways, and not just because it doesn't have all of those extra chemicals in it. I don't have to ash it, I don't have to worry about smoking inside, I don't need to carry a lighter. It's actually an awesome piece of equipment and not just some gimmick. Now once you've filled up your Vivi Nova and have started to vape with it, that should last you quite a while. You only need to refill the actual thing, say once every couple of days, depending on how much and how hard you vape. Then after a couple of weeks, you will start to get a bit of a dry burn as the coil starts to wear out, which is that little bit inside. But that's alright because you can replace that and you get 2 replacement coils with your Vivi Nova inside the packet. And you can also buy more coils for about 2 bucks online. Installing the coils is really easy. You just literally take the top back off, unscrew it, and then screw in the new coil. It's so simple. So cost wise, to get started, you're probably looking at about 10 bucks for the Vivi Nova, another 20 bucks for a battery, and then maybe 5 to 10 bucks for some juice. So all up, it'll only really cost you around $50 or less to get started. Then once you've got all the equipment, that's when you'll find that it becomes ridiculously cheap. I can take this out and smoke all night and only smoke $1 or $2 worth of actual juice, which is amazing considering I live in Australia where cigarettes cost about $10 to $20 a packet. Now, my only complaint about the Vivi Nova is that aesthetically, it's probably not the best looking tank you've ever seen. It's much more bulkier than some of the other tanks. However, it also does hold a lot more juice, holding about 3.5 mils of e-juice. One thing I do recommend though, if you want it to look a little bit nicer, is to get one of these little cone connector things, which will only cost you a couple of bucks, but it'll fill that gap in the middle, so it'll go from looking like this to like this. Now, if you don't like the bigger size of the Vivi Nova, then you can actually opt for the Vivi Nova's little brother, which I've got one here, and it's called the Mini Vivi Nova. And it's just a bit more streamlined and compact, looks a bit better. The only downside to it is that it holds less juice, but that's really not too bad because it still holds about 2 mils of juice, which is going to last you a fairly long time. So that's what the Mini Vivi Nova looks like attached to a battery compared to the full size one there. And you can see better photos of all of these things by clicking here to go to my website. Now, I personally prefer the Mini Vivi Nova over the full size one, but it's really just personal preference, whether you want something a little bit more compact and portable, or whether you want something with a bigger size for juice. Either way though, these are both great devices and a great way to vape. They're also great for new vapors too because they're so easy to use. So I'm going to give the Vivi Nova an 8 out of 10 for taste, an 8 for price, and a 7 for style. And I'm going to give the Mini Vivi Nova an 8 out of 10 for taste, an 8 for price, and an 8 for style. So if you want to pick yourself up a Mini Vivi Nova or a Vivi Nova, then just click right here because I put together a list of the very best and cheapest places to get them, and I've also managed to score you guys some killer discounts. And if you want more reviews and tutorials and other cool stuff, then don't forget to subscribe right here. Peace.